According to Billboard, BTS's highly anticipated comeback could generate a staggering 1.05 billion in revenue, spanning concerts, streaming, albums, and more. And that figure puts them within striking distance of Coldplay's Music of the Spheres World Tour, which grossed over 1.38 billion from its first 211 shows. But how realistic is that number? What assumptions did Billboard make? And more importantly, what didn't they consider? Today, we'll break down Billboard's estimate and explore the missing factors that could make BTS return even bigger than projected. Concert logistics, live viewing potential, solo tour momentum, streaming power, and the underestimated value of BTS's intellectual property empire. First, let's go through the things that Billboard considered. Concert 664.1 million. The projection assumes 3.9 million attendees across 65 shows, roughly 60,000 fans per night. And that puts BTS in the same league as Coldplay, whose Music of the Spheres tour grossed 421 million in 2024 alone, according to Polestar's year-end report. For 2025, it is expected to add another at least 142.1 million based on mid-year projections. But does BTS's own track record make this even possible? Well, BTS's last US shows were their semi-residencies at SoFi Stadium and Allegiant Stadium, both of which sold out during the members-only pre-sale period, leaving nothing for general sales. Their Permission to Dance on Stage Las Vegas run earned the top box score report of 2022, pulling 35.9 million from 697 tickets sold across 4 nights, an average of 49,924 per show. At SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, they sold 213,000 tickets, about 53,438 per show, at an average ticket price of 155.86, grossing 33.3 million. And remember, that's 2022 dollars. So yes, 664.1 million is definitely achievable. Maybe even an underestimation. We'll get back to that in a bit. Merchandise, 352.7 million. Every BTS tour comes with a new version of their iconic light stick, a handheld device that syncs to the show and transforms the entire stadium into a glowing choreographed galaxy. Hybe's technical team controls it live, and fans happily line up for each upgraded edition. Beyond that, limited edition merch, from keychains and shirts to hoodies and photo cards, is sold both on site and through Weavers, Hybe's online store. Fans can conveniently pre order online and pick up items at the venue, turning the merch booth into an experience of its own. They also sell special city-themed merch. With countless brand partnership, there is no doubt some of these brands will most likely want to produce and sell their own merch. BTS themed, of course. So while 352.7 million for merchandise is definitely achievable, there are still a lot of things Billboard didn't consider, and we'll get back to that in a bit. Albums, 80 million. That estimate comes from roughly 4 million physical units sold, an impressive number in today's streaming dominated market. Still, BTS used to surpass that easily even before military enlistments. After Billboard changed its chart rules to limit how many copies per buyer can count towards rankings, physical sales for artists with massive fan bases like BTS took a hit. Despite that, BTS has always capped their releases at around 4 versions per album. Compared to artists like Taylor Swift, whose The Life of a Showgirl had over 30 versions. If BTS decided to expand to even 10 versions, sales could skyrocket. Armies have proven time and again that they are ready to support. If Big Hit gives them the avenue, they'll take it enthusiastically. Streaming, 33.2 million. That figure translates to a jaw dropping 9.22 billion streams. For perspective, Butter remains the most streamed debut week song in Billboard Global 200 history, with 289.2 million streams. Even Bruno Mars's collaboration with Rosé and Taylor Swift's Fate of Ophelia haven't surpassed it. And the streaming records don't stop there. BTS currently has 5 songs with over a billion Spotify streams: Dynamite, Butter, My Universe, Boy with Love, and Fake Love. But one of the things to consider is that all of these songs were released during or before the pandemic. Their popularity has definitely ballooned since then. And one of those proof would be the success of their solo ventures. Every member has released their own solo album. And many of them have either come close or actually broke some of BTS's records. Jungkook's 7, for example, is the third most streamed song in Billboard Global 200 history, amassing 217.1 million in its debut week alone. Again, there are many things that Billboard didn't consider, and let's go through them one by one. So, what are these things? Yes, the numbers do make sense. They are not wild guesses. They're grounded in history and what BTS has already achieved. But as every army knows, BTS has a way of outdoing even the most generous expectations. And that's where Billboard's estimate. There's a lot it didn't consider, from the tours that never happened to the global scale that's never been tested. First, concerts. Technically, BTS has never completed a full global stadium tour. Their Map of the Soul tour was supposed to be it, and it was completely sold out before being canceled due to COVID-19. Once live events went back to normal, they did 2 semi-residencies in SoFi and Allegiant, both of which also sold out in pre-sale. So it is understandable that there is no real gauge as to the actual box office power of BTS. But one thing we can use is the 3 members. Suga, J-Hope, and Jin have gone on solo tours. Each sold out their dates, with J-Hope and Suga, as August D, now holding the records for the first and second highest grossing tours by a solo Asian native acts. J-Hope grossed 84.7 million from 33 sold out shows. Suga grossed 57.1 million from 26 sold out shows. Jin's final figures are still being tallied, but Polestar's monthly tracking consistently put him in the top 10. On the charts, BTS has 6 Billboard Hot 100 number 1 hits, 27 total entries, and 180 cumulative weeks on the chart, including solo work that jumps to 316 cumulative weeks, with Jimin's Who outlasting Butter as BTS's longest charting Hot 100 song, 34 weeks versus 33. Concert attendance measures depth of the fandom. Chart performance shows breadth. In both, BTS continues to expand. Another thing to consider is if BTS chooses to perform in cities and use mega venues like Kyle Field in Texas, with a capacity over 100,000, surpassing 60,000 tickets per show, isn't a stretch. Live viewing and streaming. Their Permission to Dance on-stage concert series earned 230.7 million from 3.4 million tickets sold across 12 shows, including in-person attendance and live cinema streams. Live viewing lets fans experience concerts in real time from theaters worldwide, a model BTS helped popularize. At their peak, the crowds outside the venue were large enough to fill another stadium entirely. What could change is the frequency of live viewing and live streaming events. What the solo concerts of the members proved is that armies don't need to be surprised with their choreography and set list. They don't mind seeing on screen what they are about to watch live. In fact, the earlier they can get access, the better for them. Many set up online live streaming parties just as so they could have some sort of community to share the experience. And this will most likely encourage BTS to stream more concerts than before. Also, they will most likely book bigger live viewing venues, cinema events, documentaries, and behind the scenes. Every BTS era includes film and documentary content, some released free on YouTube, others on Weverse or in theaters. Both BTS Yet to Come in Cinema and Permission to Dance in Cinemas earned around 40 million globally, each during limited runs. This adds significant side revenue while keeping fans engaged between tours. Bangtan TV, the YouTube channel of BTS, where they put most of their behind the scenes and other short materials, most likely earns millions as well. With BTS comeback, they are probably going to double or even triple their monthly revenue. Again, that adds up. Streams and fan growth. Butter's record breaking debut in Billboard Global 200 remains unbeaten, but Jungkook shattered BTS's own record with 7, achieving 89.7 million filtered streams in its first week in Spotify. This is the biggest debut ever for a Korean or Asian native act. Jimin's Who wasn't far behind, earning 79 million unfiltered and 56 million filtered streams in 1 week. Seven is now approaching 3 billion streams, far ahead of Dynamite's 2.2 billion. And perhaps more telling is Jimin's Who. It maintained 8-digit weekly US streams for 10 consecutive weeks, while Butter and Dynamite managed that only 1 week. Today, Who continues to outstream both week on week. But that's not all. Almost every member's solo hit currently outperforms Butter and Dynamite week on week. And most of these songs dropped while BTS was serving in the military. By any streaming metric, the fan base hasn't shrunk, it has grown. That gives BTS a stronger streaming position than Billboard predicted. The power of IP. If there's one thing Hype and Big Hit have mastered, it's intellectual property. IP ensures that BTS can continue to earn even without direct participation and scale it infinitely. BTS's creative IP universe includes BT21, Tiny Tan, In the Som, Seven Fates Chacos, and Wayang Yon Manwa series. BT21 and Tiny Tan remain their most recognizable and mainstream heavily licensed properties with collaborations spanning Converse, Skechers, Reebok, Crocs, Uniqlo, Olive Young, and more for BT21. For Tiny Tan, they have a collaboration right now for McDonald's, Toy Story, Bench, Sega, Virginia Foods, and others. While these IPs are now largely independent of BTS's direct involvement, and that has always been the goal for any IP, their initial association continues to boost brand value. With BTS's return, more collaborations and licensing deals are almost certain. And then there are syncs. BTS's songs have been used in many TV shows and movies, and some are more publicized than others. Permission to Dance was used in Love Island. Blood, Sweat, and Tears was featured in the movie The Mitchells vs. the Machines. Not Today was used in the movie Sing 2. And Jimin and V's Friends was used in Marvel's The Eternals. With their comebacks, many of their songs will most likely get synced for TV shows, for movies, and for advertisements. It's really fun to be a part of this community, to have everybody working together into achieving the goals set for their comeback. Crunching the numbers is fun in general, billion-dollar tours, record-breaking streams, astronomical merch sales. But for many armies, I can't speak for all, but for many, it's really not the heart of the matter. What truly matters is just seeing BTS back together, creating and performing together again. The records that they will inevitably break and set, those are just cherry on top. But what really matters is the music. That's what binds BTS and armies together. And it's about the stories told in every lyric, in every performance, in every shared moment. And I'm pretty sure that when that first note of the comeback era hits, oh my god, I'm just thinking about it, it's giving me chills. But I'm pretty sure once that note hits, all these numbers are just going to fade away in the background, and it's going to leave what always mattered most, and that's just the sound of home. And I'm so looking forward to it. I would love for to hear your thoughts about it. As I've said, I'm sure that I don't have to remind you, but I'm just saying that, let's not lose focus of what really matters, and that is to enjoy their music, understand their music, and all of the things that we're doing in the charts and sales and all of those stuff. I would like to think that it's just our way of expressing our gratitude to the positive changes they have affected in our lives, and the messages that they have communicated, and for being the voice in the thoughts that we can't articulate. Okay. Would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave them in the comment section below. As always, you can say whatever it is that you want to say. Just please do so respectfully. And consider donating to the channel. The QR code is on your screen right now. We just started our online magazine, asianentertainmentandculture.com. We are on a soft launch, but hopefully by next month, we can do a proper launch. But any feedback, recommendations, suggestions, I would appreciate them all. You can also get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. Please follow me on X, on Instagram, but most especially on Patreon, because that's where the community is. Also, consider following or joining YouTube membership. I do a once a week live stream and also some exclusive videos. Those don't go public. And that's it. Please like the video if you can, hit that notification button, subscribe to the channel. But the most important thing is to share the videos and share the channel, because that's going to inspire or push the algorithm to recommend this more. I appreciate you all. Till next time.